Greetings and welcome to Stunthangar Video Hangouts. My name is Charles Carter and I'll be your host this evening. I want to extend to you my gratitude for you watching Stunthangar Video Hangouts. If you're watching this as a replay, I want you to know that I host these YouTube live streams every Monday and Friday evening starting at 6:45 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So please make a note of this so you can watch or be part of the live stream. Plus, we have an after party following the live stream, which is sometimes better than the live stream portion. You must be a registered Stunthangar Forum member to find the link to be part of the live stream and the following after party. Here at Stunthangar Video Hangouts, we talk about building and flying model airplanes, sport flying, competition flying, and what you've been doing lately. To join our conversation, if you are already a member of the Stunthangar Forum, you can find a link if you scroll down to the section called At the Bench. Now, if you're not a member or if you're not logged into Stunthangar Forum, the At the Bench link will not appear. If you're not a member, please register at stunthangar.com/SMF. That's SMF, that's Smart Men Flying. And you must place a space between your real first and last name when you register. You must also use a valid email address or Sparky. The proprietor of Stunthangar will not approve you. Now, if you're inclined to not come in and just enjoy watching us on YouTube, wonderful, fantastic. Please enter your questions or comments in the chat box over here. And I'll do my best to make your comments or questions a part of the show. Now, understand, sometimes I can't get a word in myself, so be patient. And I will ask our illustrious panel your question or state your comments. And by the way, you only can do this during a live stream. So like I said, I host these YouTube live streams every Monday and Friday evening starting at 6:45 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Now, if you find the Stunthangar Video Hangouts that I host, or the many building videos, the Saturday at John's, which is not going to happen as the same frequency as before because Sparky is not in Dayton, Ohio any longer. And he also does contest coverage and all that. If you find that information informative and enjoyable, please hit the thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. Share the videos, comment on the videos, subscribing. All these activities help the Stunthangar YouTube channel grow. Please consider joining Stunthangar's YouTube channel memberships, which start at just $4.99 a month, which is less than 17 cents a day. It's almost just like the cost of buying a cup of coffee at Starbucks. So just buy a cup of coffee, equivalent of that, once a month, and that'll help us out. Please consider also using the super chat, which is located over here below the chat box. You can donate any amount you like. Doing it that way, there's no subscription. And if you decide to do the memberships, let me tell you what you get. You get access to member-only videos, and once a month, Sparky has a question and answer show for members only. And it is a great way to support, hopefully, your hobby, your passion, and something you really enjoy and want to really help it continue to thrive. Now, your support helps offset some of the expenses of running Stunthangar, okay? And now this is Sparky's YouTube channel. This is not mine. I come in here and run the show on Monday and Friday nights. So if you want to get in touch with me, go to my YouTube channel, which is called Flying Control Line Stunt. That's Flying Control Line Stunt. And if you locate the 2019 AMA National Championship video, which is a video with Sparky shot of me flying his beautiful Junar XL. And if you leave me a question or comment there, I'll receive a notification on my cell phone because that's my YouTube channel. And this one here, I don't come in and check the comments. I want to thank you for your past, your present, or future support. You are making it happen. Please keep the conversations family room friendly. In other words, please don't use words or do things you wouldn't say or do around your own children or grandchildren. And without any further ado, I'm now going to post a link to get into this meeting we have here. So let me post this right now. That is posted. All right. So hopefully some gentlemen or gentlewomen will join us. Women are welcome, by the way. I really would like to have more women come in this hobby. It's not necessarily a man's game. It's a lot of fun. I think women could do just as well as anybody else in here. So please consider doing that. And let me go to the what I call the control panel. That's looks like Howard Rush is coming in, making his way in here. That is fantastic. And Caffeine is making his way in here. Hey, gentlemen, how you guys doing?
Doing good.
All right. Hey, Howard, you're the first one in here. Thank you very much. That is a rare treat when you're the first one in. Thank you so much. You actually hold it down. You're the last one. You and I will close out the show, the after party as well.
Yeah, treat for me too.
Yes. So have you been on Circle One, or is it still too damp, or is the wind blowing the wrong direction?
Yes, do all those things.
Good, good. How'd your plane fly?
I didn't fly. Another guy came over and we flew his airplane, and then it started to rain, so I didn't get to fly.
Oh, well, at least you was a great host. Gave them the best conditions before it rained, right?
I was a great host. I let the electricity out of my batteries and went back inside.
That's great. That's great. Let me welcome Caffeine. Hey, Caffeine, thank you for coming in. Appreciate it.
Hi.
Yeah, I see you're driving, huh?
Yep.
You on your way to the practice field or back from the practice field? What are you up to?
No, I'm going to my location for my shooting photo project.
Okay. All right. Very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool. Have you had a chance to do any flying?
Yeah, I did. Saturday and Sunday, I did like 5 flights in total, and I posted on Stunthangar where I shared my Banshee. It has torn apart the engine mounting part. The front part, the nose is torn apart in the middle of the flight.
Oh no, really? Oh man.
Yeah.
So did it tear your plane up completely?
No, just the nose. Wing is still intact, and elevator step is still intact. So yeah, just the nose. But I think I have to get a new fuselage for better strength, for the maximum strength. I don't know. I don't know what to do next, because I still have few other planes to trim and fly. So I will just go with my other plane.
Yep. That's it. That's a good position to be in. At least you're not dead in the water and you still have planes to fly. That's good. But I'm sorry to hear about the nose of the plane coming off. It came off right at the leading edge of the wing.
No, it's right on the U section. The engine. Yeah.
Oh wow. All right. Well, that's not too bad then.
Yep. But yeah, it's not too bad. But for maximum strength, I guess I have to cut a new fuselage.
Yeah, that would be the maximum strength, most likely, I think. But I mean, I don't know how far the your engine bears go back past that U shape. I would like to have the engine bears go back all the way to the high point of the wing.
Okay.
That would be the maximum strength, doing it that way. So maybe build it, have the engine bears go all the way back to the high point of the wing. Let me welcome a few other guys here who came in. Brad LaPointe, thank you for coming in. Appreciate it.
Hi, Charles.
How you doing, Brad?
Not too bad.
Good. Have you had a chance to do any flying or do anything in your shop?
Actually, Friday we're at the Toledo show.
Oh, wow. What did you get me?
14 cases of fuel.
Wow.
Yeah, it took a big order for all the locals and snuck it through Canadian Customs, and it was all good.
Oh, that's fantastic. That's the way to do it.
Yeah, Wendy and I split the bill and brought her home. It was all good.
So did you get Was it Power Master or what kind of fuel was it?
Rich's Brew.
Rich's Brew. Oh, I've only had 1 gallon of that. Actually, I think I only had a half a gallon. It was good.
Well, it's about the only thing we can get around here reasonable. Once a year, we catch up to Randy Rich at Toledo, or sometimes meet up with him at the Nats and buy fuel there. It's good fuel. Works great. Everybody loves it around here.
Yeah. So what percent nitro did you get?
10, 11, 11 mostly.
Oh, very good. That's very good. Well, let me welcome Ed. Hey, Ed, thanks for coming in, Ed. How are you doing? And then
I'm doing fine. Hey, everybody. Yeah, doing great.
Okay, what you been up to, Ed? Have you been doing any flying or been working in your shop?
Well, flying will start. I went through a hernia repair of the mesh. So I'm finally now past it to where I can start again. So I've been very paranoid. So I've been working on, of course, the Youth Aviation Expo, and I'm going to be trying to get these DEFROM foam trainers flying and get them running right. So that'll be in the next week to 2 weeks.
Very good. Very good.
And I think I sent you a flyer, right?
How did you send it?
Email, your private email. And that
I don't remember seeing that.
Okay.
I could be mistaken. I can double check, but I don't. That doesn't.
Yeah.
How long would you send it?
Oh, it was probably a month ago. After the
okay.
first time I was on with the meeting with you.
Yeah, I think
Yes.
I think I did receive it then. Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
Cool. Very good.
Yeah, appreciate everything you do.
Thank you very much. I appreciate what you do too, especially helping the youth get involved in this. That's
well, and once again, it just when you look at the aviation jobs out there and the need, and it's I started at 6 years old building free flights and then control line at 12, and that RC at 16, and learned to fly in a Cessna 150 when I was in the Air Force, and F4 F-105 mechanic, and still working on jets and helicopters. The company is.
That is great, man. It's been good to you.
Yeah, very fortunate.
Wow, very, very good. Let me welcome Dennis Adamison. How you doing, Dennis?
Good. Howdy, everybody. So,
Howdy.
yeah, that's
I
quite a
figured you might
story
have
you're telling.
popcorn. Do you have any popcorn, Dennis? That's why I was showing you
No,
mine.
no, I'm popcorn free tonight. So
All right.
I might be getting a 2 heart, but in a minute or two, but that'll be barley sandwiches, whatever. So
what you been up to, Dennis?
not much. We've been busy doing a lot of neat stuff. Went to a concert and a play and whatever. We've had other things going on, like Saturday it was 85 degrees here, and today it was 39. Was our high.
Wow.
20-mile-an-hour winds with I think it was 30-mile-an-hour gusts. And a week ago I was out flying wearing shorts and a t-shirt and having a good old time, stunt heaven conditions, and that was 1 week ago to today. So, and we're not going to see any weather like that at least in the next 10 days. So
Oh, wow. Well, you have a chance to work on some planes, hopefully.
yeah, well, getting out to fly did get me re-energized. I've been messing around in the shop some and getting a few odd things done. So life is good. So
Very, very good. Let me welcome Mark Gerber. Hey, Mark, how you doing, Mark?
Good, Charles. How are you?
Good. I'm doing. Actually, I have a healing coming on right now, so I think after the show, I probably will go right to bed. So I'll probably pass over the host duties once we stop the live stream. But I will persevere through the show. So you made any more progress? Anything? I know that your Bearcats painted and everything else, but was there some small stuff you still need to do?
Yeah, you want to see some more pictures?
Oh yeah,
Sure.
please do.
See if I can
And hi,
find them.
Stuart.
Hey,
Stuart Morris is here with us. While you bring that up, I was actually intending to go flying today, but life got in the way.
Yeah, it's funny how that happens sometimes.
Yeah, so I'll be ready tomorrow morning if I have an opportunity. But we'll see. Yeah, it looks great, Mark.
Sure does.
Here's what it looked like last week, and I'm still working on the control surfaces
Mm-hmm.
and starting to do some ink lines. But I got this display propeller that I found on eBay, and I painted it up and got it finished yesterday. Actually, this morning. So I thought I'd put it on and just take a look at it. So here's what a Bearcat looks like.
Oh my.
Oh, that looks, wow, that looks like the real deal.
Yeah, that's a propeller that was made for a electric RC Skyraider
Mm-hmm.
with a 63-inch wingspan. So
That's right. Yeah.
it's plastic. It wouldn't be good for actual flying with an ignition motor. Maybe Dennis could use it on his electrics. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
But I painted it up, in the right colors and everything and put it on the Bearcat.
Yep.
I haven't done the clear coats yet. You can see the canopy's frosted up here. I sanded that down with
I
Mhm.
see it. Yeah.
1500 as
Mhm.
most of the rest of the plane. But
I like
Yeah,
the decals you have on that prop.
yeah, I found that emblem on the web somewhere and made a decal out of it.
Hmm.
And put
What
it
is
off.
That's
that?
really,
What
really
is the
good.
actual decal? I mean, if it was blown up, what is it we're looking at?
Well, let me see if I can get in and look at it here.
Oh wow.
Aero prop?
Yeah, that was the division of General Motors that made the propellers for the Bearcats and many other planes.
Hmm.
Really?
Yeah, and they had the Aeroprop logo that they put on them,
Mm-hmm.
and you
Wow,
can't
that is
see.
really authentic then.
Yeah, some of the details lost in here. There's some words down here under the Aeroprop, but you can't see them on the. But anyway, that's what that decal is.
Well, Mark, I want to tell you, I've gotten some communications from some people, and they really liked your Bearcat. They were really
Absolutely.
enthralled with it, and so thank you for sharing
And
this
here's a
development.
here's a front-on view,
Mm-hmm.
and then here's what it'll look like when you really fly it.
No kidding. Now,
course,
do you
once
have
you-
some I'm lost for words for a second here. Dihedral in the wing or not?
Oh yeah,
Okay,
just like the original.
very nice.
I used the Bob Hunt Lust foam wing jig that Keith Trossel put me onto,
Mm-hmm.
which has the dihedral built right into it.
Very nice.
So that's where I am right now. A few more weeks here, I think I should have the thing pretty well done and ready to go try it out.
No kidding. So you have a Rev Up 13.6 prop on there?
Yeah, that's for the classic prop for Super Tiger 60, which is what the motor is. Some people have used 14.6s. I might try that because of the big cowl, but I'll get it in the air once and see how it flies.
That looks great. Boy, that looks great. Now, is that
Well, that's-
engine totally stock, or has it been massaged by anybody?
Well, I have two of them right now that I'm using. One of them, this one here, actually is a Tom Lay Super Tiger 60.
Mm-hmm.
And I have another one that I got from my friend Dick Carville in Massachusetts. Dick used to fly Super Tiger 60s when I first got into the hobby or into stunt flying back in the 80s. And he had really good engine runs. And I was up there a year and a half ago or so. And I went over to see Dick and told him what I was doing. And he pulled out his stock of Super Tiger 60s and went through them and found the one he had notes that he wrote in each box about what he'd done to the motor. And he picked out the one that was the best one. He says, "Here, handed it to me.
Nice.
No charge.
Nice. That's very nice.
He's in the
After
process.
that, you had to build the airplane, huh? So,
Well, I was pretty far along at that point already, but
okay.
I had the SV11 that I had last summer, and I was trying both of these motors out, and Dick's actually, I think, has a little bit more power than the Tom Way.
Mhm.
So
Go for it.
Yeah,
not sure
very,
what
very
exactly
nice.
he did to it other than he set it up like Tom does with the needle valve going through the middle.
Yeah.
But Dick has since gone electric, and now he's moved from Massachusetts down to Florida.
Oh boy.
I guess he's migrated almost completely to RC at this point on all
Mhm.
electric. So
Question is, isn't that, and that's the Ray Bearcat that he flew with the Tiger 46, right?
yeah, this is the Bearcat 3.
Yeah. So I don't see you having any trouble with the with the 60. That's
Well, I hope not. I live in Colorado. You got to keep that in mind.
yeah, that's it. But
5,000-foot elevation here.
I'm thinking Al couldn't have used over a 12-inch prop on a 46, could he? Even, I mean, you're going to have an inch more prop, and even though you're messing with altitude and everything like that.
Yeah, probably
so,
not. I had 6.
Yeah, so I don't know.
But
You
down there
wanna
in
try a
Texas, you know, the
14, yeah,
altitude's only like what, 500 feet or something.
what's that again? Texas?
Yeah, down there in Texas where I lived, its altitude's only like 500 feet, I think.
Around Dallas? Boy, I don't know. I thought it was higher than that, but I guess I really don't know.
Well, it's a
But,
lot lower than here. I know that.
I'm sure of that. Yeah. I saw the Bearcat fly in Willow Grove, and I think that was closer to 500 feet or so elevation. So it did just fine there. But it's fantastic. It's just I'm still stunned by the markings, the squadron markings that you found, the big graphics and everything like that. That really sets off all that blue.
Yeah,
It really looks good.
come out well.
Yeah, yeah.
Trying to stop sharing, Charles, but I'm not sure my computer's working right.
Uh-oh.
All right. If you can't, I can do it if you can't do it.
Yeah, it's
Let me
not
know.
responding to me here.
All right, I'll do it.
Go ahead
then.
and cut me off.
Captain, you've got too much power. Oh,
Here we go. There we go. So I should have killed it. There we go. And let me go to the control panel. I haven't made my way there yet. 1 second.
Mark, are you live? I think Mark may
I
have
think
locked
so.
up
Yeah,
completely.
he's still alive. I don't know why his image is not showing, but
Yeah,
he's
your
still
image
alive.
is frozen. So,
My computer's just not responding.
you
Strange.
might
And
have
this little
to you might have to
Apple
reboot it
spiring
or
rainbow.
something. Yeah.
There we go.
So Stuart, what you been up to, Stuart?
Oh, I went flying the other day.
Mhm.
Oh, great.
And,
What did you fly?
I was flying one, there's no name for it. Len gave it to me and it was kind of like combat, basically. On my, I think 8th or 9th flight, all of a sudden I hit a tree.
You hit a tree? I've done that before. I've
There was
knocked
one
off my alpha
branch
wingtip.
near this row of trees, and there was one branch that stuck out, and I
Yeah.
took off in the same spot, and it just I hit the freaking one small branch, took out the top, thing came straight down, but it was okay.
Well, that's not the kind of combat that airplane was designed for. So
Stuart,
No.
come on out on Wednesday. There's no trees at the
Yeah.
field.
That's
If
all
you hit a
good.
tree out there, you've really wandered a long way.
Yeah.
Who among us has not flown a control line airplane into a tree?
boy, I know this is the kiss of death.
I've done that before. I hit a branch right before a contest.
I
I
hit
put a
my
couple of
pit box
RC planes
twice.
in trees. So
I thought it would have wrecked the plane, but it just popped both blades off the prop and came down, and it didn't hurt. I thought it would have ripped the covering.
Didn't even do that. Oh, wow. Well, hey, any landing you can walk away from is a good one, right? So,
Do that.
I don't mind.
yeah.
Hey, I threw one in. I flew one into a tree.
Yeah.
It got
I thought I was
stuck,
in
and it was in a tall pine tree. And the only way I could get it out is I just pulled real hard on the handle, and it came out tree length. And I was real lucky. On the ringmaster I was flying, and I was very fortunate that I didn't break the plane. So.
I thought I was the only one that did that.
Oh,
No,
no.
you're not alone.
Not alone.
Flying no 49s in the backyard.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah.
and let me welcome Gary Sinclair. Hey, Gary, how are you doing?
Hey, finally got in. It was slow, but I got in.
It was slow.
Yeah,
I don't know what causes that. I don't have no idea.
I was halfway in and I just shut down and I lost contact, so I had to restart.
I have no idea. So I'm glad you made it in, though.
Yeah.
Hey guys, I got a question about a IC motor. It's an OS Max 335, and the 3 is in Roman numerals. Are they good engines? Are they worth mounting on a plane and using them or not?
Yeah, they used to be pretty good engines. They were kind of a big block engine as compared to the later OSS 35 and stuff, but they were reasonably strong, a little heavy as I recall, but yeah, they were probably worth it. You got
Okay.
I put on, you got a profile or something like that. I don't know if I'd build an airplane for it anymore because you couldn't duplicate it. Probably you'd have a hard time finding the second one, but I don't know. Howard, you ever run those?
Yes. In 1960, I think.
Yeah, that's about it. So
I remember it having a wide spacing on the engine mount.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, that's right. I have one.
Okay. And then what about a 35 OS Max 35S? What about those engines?
Very good. They're good motors. They're good engines. When you saw me fly
the
my chipmunk,
S35 was basically, probably the last of the standards before people started jumping into Tiger 46 size airplanes and stuff, but the late classic era and stuff. Still good engines. They haven't been made since what, the 70s or early 70s or something, but
Yeah.
they still work. And
Yeah.
you can find those fairly easily compared to the Max 3, I think.
Yeah. Well, the reason I was asking, I went through my inventory of engines that I had that could be used. And to my surprise, I discovered I had those engines. And so I was just wondering if they were worth the time and using them or move on to an FP or something.
Bird in hand and all that kind of stuff. It's getting harder and harder to find engines.
Yeah.
Let's see. I think the FP will mount on the same mounts as the S35, but I think it's actually about 3/16 longer in front.
Okay.
So if you built something with a spinner on it or something like that, you might look a little funky, but I believe the mounting pattern is the same.
Mm. And then would you have to use castor oil for those engines?
Yeah, I wouldn't go crazy on it. Used to run mine on
Okay.
KB 100 fuel, which was like 7% nitro and I think 18% castor. You hear people telling you to run 20, 25, 29%. Use 29% oil. Save yourself the trouble. Just smash it with a hammer. That'll have the same effect as running it on 29% oil. But
Okay.
And, you know, the effect will be a
Okay,
lot quicker.
Yeah.
But,
And are they temperamental when you run synthetic oil through them, or don't do that, or?
Run
no,
11.
late in the series, I started running synthetic, or synthetic would maybe just, the fuel I liked, that I ended up with was something called Omega, made by the same people that make Cool Power. And it's the red stuff. It's made with Plots oil. I think it's around 14% Plots and 3% castor or something like that. That stuff ran really, really nice in it. It ran really clean, didn't carbon up the
Okay.
engine or anything like that. So,
All right. All right, well, thank you.
okay. Now remember, you're taking advice from the guy who hasn't flown an IC engine in 15 years. So,
Yeah, but the knowledge is still there though, right?
yeah, and I'm
Under the influence.
yeah, I'm drinking. So, anyhow.
Damn.
Let me welcome Lynn Burrell. Hey, Lynn, thanks for coming
Hi,
in.
guys. Hello.
What you been up to, Lynn? You been doing any building or flying?
Work today again on the airplanes I'm working on. I got a bunch of, I guess you'd call them Kiyosaki spin-offs we're building.
Ah,
So
true.
I'm building a bunch of those.
Did you finish up the Strega?
No, haven't touched it in a month and a half.
Oh,
Haven't
boy.
touched the big airplane in a month and a half either, because I'm not competing this year. So I don't need them.
Yeah.
I really don't need them. So maybe next year I'll have them. Maybe later this year. We'll see how it goes.
Well, you start getting some nice weather for painting and stuff like that. You can
Yeah,
probably
I might
finish
get
them
out there
off
and get
then.
them painted up. That's right.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, I'm a little burned out right now.
Mm-hmm.
Little model building burned out. But that's okay. It happens.
It happens.
Self-inflicted.
Well, let me catch up on the chat box. Gary Sinclair was the first one in. Thank you, Gary. He said like provided, and he's a member of our YouTube channel. Thank you very much, Gary. And he's also the monitor on the chat box. He has a blue wrench. And then Jack Snavely, he says he's also a member. Excuse me. And he says, hi, guys. I'm still here. My favorite show. Well, thank you very much, Jack. That's quite a compliment. And then Tom Ramel says, like provided. And Dennis Adamison, who's here, as well as Gary, he's also a member, and he said, like provided. And then Tom Ramel says, snowstorm yesterday and still have ice on the lake. I'm ready to be done with the snow. Yes, I understand that. I mean, I don't understand that, but I imagine you are.
That's it. That's it. Well, you know, Tom's up in Minnesota. I don't know how to explain to him. That's kind of what he signed up for. But although by now, I guess I thought it would have thawed out even there. But oh.
And let me welcome Keith Trossel. Hey, Keith, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing well. Doing well.
Hi, Colonel.
So you've been doing any building on your big job? Making any progress?
Basically, the wing's done and trying to get a nose unit put together. It's taking more time than I thought it should, but that's the way it goes.
That's
So in the big job that you lost, the nose, the louvers, they were all messed up. You couldn't transfer those over?
No.
Ooh, I'm sorry to hear that. That's too bad.
Well, I hope you were able to salvage those wheel pants that you put so much time in.
Yeah, those are okay.
Woo! That's great.
They got a little scratched up, but they're okay.
Uh-huh.
That's good. We have Tony Sambendetto here in the chat box. Provides a like. Hey, Tony, have you registered at Stunthangar Forum? I know you've asked me how to get into the Zoom meeting. Have you done that yet? Let me know. And then Philip Bailey is making his way in here.
Okay. Well, Phil's coming. Everybody hide, darn it. So,
Phil
Oh, too late. Too late.
Too late.
Oh, you heard that, huh?
Yeah. Ears I got. Good sense. I'm fresh out. Danny, what did you just put up? Look nice.
No, not nice, but working on my tribute airplane.
Uh-oh.
What do you got there, Dennis? Let me make it big here.
Can't see it. I think I have to move it around a little bit.
Oh my goodness. That's Wesley's airplane.
Yep. This is
Oh,
acting
very nice.
like he's slowing down this year and stuff. I don't know. I think he's kind of a slacker or something like that. Just turned 91. And he's been after me for about 10 years to build one of his Velvets. And I got nothing
Nice.
but light glare here. Let me change the angle a little bit. So I'm
That's looking good.
trying to build a Velvet, and I'm trying to, I can't help it. I had to make some changes to make it mine and whatever else. I just can't help it.
Yeah, I can't help it
but-
either.
But there you have it. I'm trying a bunch of things on it, experimental things. I did something, I know this is going to sound trivial to most of you guys, but this is the first time I ever installed a set of elevator hinges with a single pin through them all.
Oh, really? Oh, that's
Yeah.
pretty cool. I've
Just
done that.
don't
Yeah.
do that normally. And so I just put those in today, and lo and behold, the elevator's nice and whatever. We don't have a push rod hooked up yet and back yet, but it's one of the things, you know, Wes's flap horn system is extremely low friction. All right.
Oh,
And now the elevator's like that. It's one of the things that you ever handled one of Wes's airplanes. One of the things about it, he does a fantastic job with his control systems, and they never have any issues, you know, in any binding, any drag or anything in it. So, and he does that even with the normal airplanes, you know, but he does it really nice. He spends a lot of time with the hinges and keeping them, making them clean and all that kind of stuff. And of course that all matters. So
It does. I think it's pretty important. I think it really makes a difference in your plane, how it flies.
yeah, it does. It does.
Did anybody else see that funny looking bent wing over in the corner?
Yeah,
It looked
it's
like
still
the
sitting there
second
waiting.
side
Yeah, I
was
saw
raised.
that. What is it?
Yeah, it's still waiting for some attention. So
Oh my
but
goodness.
I'm gonna get back into that in a little bit. I made that tactical error again. I was working on something and I kind of got bored with it, and I picked up something else to build it. So now I got two projects going at once, which means neither one of them makes a lot of progress at any one time. But
I relate well.
yeah, but I got the horizontal tail. I got it all carved today. I'm gonna hinge it and fit it all up. I'm hoping to get that to the same stage as the Velvet, you know, in a couple of days. Wes does show something on his plans that I've never done before. I've never seen anybody else do it.
What's
So it just
that?
made me point it out. You know, the way everybody's fond of putting things like diagonal braces in the fuselage, you know, to keep it straight.
Yes. Uh-huh.
Okay, Wes did something totally different. And basically underneath there's a turtleneck going on there. The top of the fuselage is covered with a piece of 16th balsa cross grain. All right, just
Okay.
basically planked it. All right.
Right.
And it adds, of course, a lot of stiffness and everything like that. Doesn't weigh anything. You know, it's less than one sheet of 16th balsa, and it supports the fuselage sides full length. It's not just triangulating, you know, the angles with the sides still free to, you know, to bow in between and everything like that. So I kind of like that. Plus, I'm able to do things like glue the tail in and stuff. I had it, you know, boxed up. When I put the bottom on, I'm going to, you know, jig up the fuselage and tail again, so everything's straight. When I put the bottom of the fuselage on, I'm going to end up with a fully enclosed box section, which will, you know, torsionally be completely stable. And I'll be able to do all of that on a flat board. And so
That's pretty neat. So to clarify my understanding, Dennis, does that 16 balsa go in between the fuselage or on top of the
It's just
fuselage?
on top,
On top, okay.
just caps the fuselage side. You put it in
Very
between,
cool.
but it's kind of a pain in the butt. Just cover it on top and it just basically makes a flat base. You know, a lot of people are building turtle decks, you know, molding turtle decks off the airplane and then glue them on in a unit. That's a perfect base for it. So,
Yeah.
And that 16, like I say, that 16 sheet, you don't even use a full sheet of it to do what I did there. So it's not, there just really isn't any weight to speak of. And what you're looking at is structural stability while the fuselage is in an otherwise flexible state. So I don't know. I think it's pretty good payoff.
Yeah.
Maybe that guy did learn something over his first 91 years. So
maybe.
So
yeah, I remember seeing him at a contest and he seems really sharp.
he really is. He's still sharp, funny, genuinely nice man. And I don't know, I tease him. I says, you know, when he was born, the Dead Sea was only sick. But he gets a kick out of that. But I get a kick out of it.
Oh,
So.
that is funny.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
good. That is good.
But he's still going strong, still a blast, still a lot of fun to hang out with. He is hinting that he's not sure he can fly this year, but he said that the last 2 years too. So you're going to work on him. You can get him out there.
Good. Well, Tony Sanbendetto, he says, yeah, I'm all set up. If you're all set up, Tony, why aren't you inside here? I'd like to see you. Wouldn't you guys like to see Tony Sanbendetto? Wouldn't you like to see him? Yeah. Everyone wants to see you. The party is going on. The water is warm. Come on in.
Yeah, the only thing that's missing is you. We need somebody to pick up the bar tab. So
yeah, come on in, Tony. That'd be great to get some new blood in here.
Stuart, did you fly on the weekend?
Yep. Hey, you know the blue one you gave me?
Yes.
Well, it hit a tree.
It hit a tree.
Yeah.
How did you manage that?
Are you talking? We are talking control line, right?
Yeah.
On wires.
Yeah.
Sounds like some miscalculation there.
I kind of nipped the longest branch, but the plane survived. Broke the prop.
Okay.
did the tree survive? Oh,
Oh yeah, I think it's still there.
the tree didn't even notice, did it? Yeah.
Not a bit. That's funny. How many
Is that at the
flights you
golf
get
course?
I did about 8 flights.
in? At the
Wow.
golf course?
No, I went to the Ball Diamond in Blenheim this time.
Max sees that as being legal.
Yeah, well, they said it was okay. I talked to the record. He
Yeah.
says-
Yeah, but you don't have coverage
Yeah,
there.
you don't have any insurance. You're flying
you-
without insurance. No, you don't. You have none.
yeah, you do.
How?
No, you don't.
With
Not
Mac,
with Mac.
You have no Mac.
if you get permission to fly off of your
Not
field,
anymore. They
Oh,
changed
really?
it.
Rules
Yeah.
are all
you'd be kidding.
changed. You have to
Oh,
fly
man.
at a Mac sanctioned site or you have no insurance.
Oh,
If you
Jesus.
guys have no insurance, you really can't be in the show.
I got insurance.
Yeah, so do I. I'm good.
I'm an AMA member too, so I can
I'm
fly
just
Yeah,
kidding.
me
I'm just
too.
kidding.
both places.
I didn't know.
Anybody
they
listening to the
changed that.
show, you don't have to have insurance. You can come in here with no insurance. No
Oh yeah,
worries.
That's
Mac's being stinkier than ever. They're just absolutely killing us. They're absolutely annihilating us.
I can't believe it for control line that you can't do that. With the problem.
Doesn't
Hey.
matter.
They're going after RC cars now.
What?
They're cars.
You gotta have a license. Gotta have a license to drive one now.
They want you to have a license to run RC cars if you're a MAC member. Every kid in the country would care less, but MAC,
Yeah.
if you're a MAC member and you're running a RC car out in your backyard, they want to pull your license. Seriously, it's on RC Canada today. They're talking about it.
Jesus.
It's just off the charts insane.
I mean, they got a couple of megalomaniacs in there as president and vice president, and I
We've
can't
only
see
got, yeah.
I can't
We've
see them
only-
lasting too long.
Apparently, we only have 3 control line sites in Canada now that we're legally able to fly it with Mac. The Beanfield, Crowland Park in Niagara Falls, and and I think BC where Chris Cox flies. I think that's the only 3 that are open and running right now.
That's
Wow.
amazing.
It's scary. It's absolutely scary.
Yeah,
I
the
didn't-
second closest one to me is in Chesterfield, Michigan.
Well, I'm
Really?
gonna
I
have
mean, if
Oh,
y'all were the
that's-
size of Rhode Island, I could see 3 sites. But Canada? Holy smoke.
Brad, I think bad news is I'll bet that site in Michigan, I bet that isn't insured by Mac either. So
That's why I got AMA.
yeah,
Yeah, we have AMA to fly in the US, so
yeah.
we're fine
No.
that way. As
Yeah,
long
we're
as our Mac.
Stallone and the guys that got a couple circles over on the corner at 23 Mile and 94. Pretty nice little place.
Okay. That wouldn't be too bad for coming over the border then either, but
No, it's half hour from the ferry.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
When did they change the insurance? Do you know?
About a
That
week
ju-
ago.
About a week ago.
Really?
Yeah.
Yep.
Take a look at all the updates. It's wild. It's the wild, wild west.
That's terrible. I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah, it's crazy now.
So
Like I can
Keith,
fly it. Go ahead.
I was gonna ask Keith, you want to show us your wing or show us what you've done on your big job?
It's sort of like, okay, just a minute.
All right. Go ahead, and then maybe you got wise fetching
No,
that.
I was just gonna say, there's a site in Burlington where they fly control line in Burlington, Ontario, but they've now pulled out of Mac, and so therefore, one of the guys I know from there, he flies out of Burlington, so they're getting their own private insurance now. So they're not members of Mac, so they can't fly at the Mac fields, and we can't fly at their field.
Jeez.
It's just crazy. It's just right off the
You're
charts.
destroying
nuts.
everything. It's just crazy.
So what happens if you get caught flying at a field you don't have insurance or don't have a license or?
Matt can pull your license.
Well,
They can
from
cut
what
you
it
off.
sounds like, what's the big loss there?
Yeah,
that's-
really.
Do these
Well,
people realize we're talking about model airplanes on wires?
well, exactly. They fully realize.
That's
They want to
insane.
have everybody licensed as drone pilots. Anybody that picks up an RC transmitter, it doesn't matter if it flies, rolls, or floats. They want everybody to have a goddamn government drone license.
Wow.
And I think they're going to lose a lot of members.
It's crazy.
Let's check out this wing.
That looks awesome, Keith.
Anyway, it's pretty well done. I've got the tip weight box done. Let's see, I think you've seen how this works before, but anyway, two
Oh, wow.
hold that in place.
Is that made out of plywood or what?
The box is lined with plywood, yeah. Except this top piece is basswood. Couple
Okay.
pieces of basswood here.
So was
But
that
it's
a
lined,
claim?
sides and bottom are plywood. I've done before just balsa, cut a hole in the balsa block and the tips are solid blocks. And the lead weights I use, even though they're kind of packed in there, why they shake around and they make a mess.
What's that lid made of?
It's aluminum.
Okay.
Started as a piece of 16th inch aluminum. Whoops. It when there's the top of it's kind of contoured to
Okay.
match shape.
Yeah, that's cool.
Are you using aluminum because you're putting screws through it? Is that why?
Hmm?
Why are you using aluminum for the cover?
Instead of what? You mean plywood or piece of wood?
Yeah.
Well, it's got Wood would not last very long, or holes in it and all that. This is just more durable.
That's a great idea.
It
I
is
don't
a
know,
good
Keith,
idea.
if you made the cover out of lead, you wouldn't need the box underneath it, but,
Well, or what you could do is use different materials for different weights, so you could
Yeah.
calibrate. Yeah.
yeah. I don't know.
Great
I'll go,
idea.
Steel or lead. Yeah.
I'll go back in my corner now, so.
That's a good idea, Dennis. I never thought of that.
Yeah.
So the
Keith, that
screws
wing
that
is
you're
gorgeous.
going through the cover are they flathead screws or the cap socket screws? What kind of screws are they?
They're little round-headed things with I don't know what they're called, cap screws. They're got a round head on them.
Oh, they're button
head.
they're button
Button
head.
Button heads, yeah.
Yeah. They're 256s,
Mhm.
and I have used a flathead that have tapered holes in here that they'd screw into, but this isn't thick enough to let me do that. So there'll be button head screws exposed on this thing.
And the button head's a little bit proud on top of that cover.
Yeah.
Okay. Very nice. That's a great idea.
Oh, look at that trailing edge. Ooh, mama, that thing's straight. Pretty.
Yeah,
Oh, that's nice.
that is.
Beautiful.
The wing, let's see if you can. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
That's
Keith,
just
you
a
do pretty
gorgeous
work, buddy.
airfoil on that. You know,
That's a
we
gorgeous
talked about
airplane, I'm
that
telling you.
before, where this thing was 1948, and Eddie Nacarado really nailed it, I think.
you know, it'd be so tempting to put a movable
Ooh,
flap
that's
on
pretty.
it with that wing, that airfoil and a movable flap. I mean, that's completely contemporary, I think. I think it'd fly like crazy.
Yeah, the only
with
thing
flaps.
straight is just a straight leading edge.
Yeah,
I'm
But
not
yeah.
so sure that's not a good thing. I mean, I've got a couple of straight wing airplanes downstairs that flies darn near as good as anything I've ever flown. I mean, I've always thought, no flap is a no-no. Straight wings a no-no. And now I've got a straight winged airplane with no flaps that really flies well.
Mm.
I still have to cut a hole in here for the push rod, and then I have to hook up the push rod into the cap.
Mhm.
I was going to ask, how the heck are you going to hook that up now?
Mhm.
I can reach in there and kind of finagle the ball link that's on top of the bell
Oh,
crank.
you've already installed a ball link. Okay.
Yeah, the ball link's already in there. It's just a matter of cutting a hole in here, and it's a pain in the butt, but I can find it and wiggle it around
Yeah.
where I can go ahead and thread the push rod into it.
Largest two-letter word in the English vocabulary, if I can find it.
Well, I did it on the
You'll
last.
do it.
Yeah, it works, and it's
Yeah,
I
you
already
can do
got
it.
the push rod made since it came from the last one. So, yeah, it's
That's
coming along.
neat. That's going to be a neat looking airplane. Already is.
Oh, it's 8 ounces. Which is
Yeah,
a little bit
Oh my
heavier,
goodness.
which
that's
is
a lot
little
of
bit
wing
heavier than I'd
for
hoped
8
for.
ounces.
Wow.
Again, it's almost it's 580-inch wings, so that's not too bad.
That's pretty impressive.
I know some
It
of the
is.
some of the I-beamers come out lighter than that.
Thank you so much for showing that again.
I still got epoxy set, and I can move it. Hold on, I'll bring something else.
All right.
Some of you guys must spend all day building. I can't do that.
I know Sparky does. I don't know who else does that.
I don't know. I can do it sometimes, Phil. I can build like crazy for 2, 3, maybe a week or something like that, and then you reach the point where I don't even want to look at the workshop. You know what I mean?
I know what you mean.
So
I get frustrated every time I get down there. Nothing's happened. Been quiet for the last 2-3 hours, and I figure, okay, I got a shot. I finished up all my little menial jobs I got to do. I go downstairs and I won't be down there 10 minutes. I just figure out what I'm going to do and turn the lights on, get ready to do it. and the phone will ring or somebody will come over or something happens.
Mm. Yep.
And the other thing aggravates the tar out of me, you know that when you started this project, you ordered all the parts you needed, like tip weights. I can't find those things. I have turned that shop upside down. I can't find those darn things.
Well, just go to Harbor Freight and pick up those wheel weights. You know what I'm talking about, Phil?
Yeah, I think I know what you're talking about. Well, I don't really know what you're talking about. Oh, regular wheel weights. Yeah, I could do that.
Harbor
That's a good
Freight
idea.
sells
Drill a
them,
hole in
and
it.
it's a really
Drill a
good
hole in it.
deal. I mean, it's they're not lead, they're steel though, but it's still they're quarter ounce, you know. And I think they have
I'll
two
go give
different
that a
sizes.
shot, Charles. Thank you. I didn't know about that.
Yeah, you got to drill a hole in them if you need a hole for a weight box, but it's a great price. I mean, I forget how many ounces total, but you can't beat the price. He's got to peel off the mounting tape, and
I'll go look at that tomorrow. It's a good idea. Thank you.
You're welcome. What do you got there, Keith?
Well, it's the beginning of the nose.
Wow, nice.
Oops, no, it's going to come apart anyway. Don't know whether you can see. I use an aluminum plate, single piece of aluminum that the motor sits on, and that's sort of here. I think it's okay. Take it apart.
Thank you.
There we go. And you can see then that's the plate the motor sets on. And it's just epoxy now. I mixed it up to epoxy about 2 hours ago. It's pretty well set. It's not going to move. And anyway, it's all clamped together with plates on the top and bottom. And this thing goes together. It's clamped like that. So,
yeah, neat.
It keeps the separate motor mounts straight and parallel to each other, and the metal plate that sits in there is to the right dimensions and right taper up here on the front. So anyway, it does taper in a little bit.
Okay. Is that like T6061 aluminum or something other than that?
I don't know what it's. A piece of 16th inch aluminum I got from a long time ago, and that's what I've been using for years.
And you cut that using what, a scroll saw or a bandsaw? How do you cut it?
I got a scroll saw, yeah, and it roughs it out, and then use a file to get it to final shape and dimensions and everything. And the offset of the engine is already set in there to where the spinner and the propeller shaft is on the center line of the airplane, so the engine is offset. You might be able to see it's.
I think I do see it. Yeah, it's a slight little.
Yeah, there's a little bit of offset. It's only about 1.5 degrees, but the propeller shaft is on the center line of the airplane, so the head of the engine is cocked in a little bit.
Very nice. That's neat. I haven't seen that before.
That's the way I do all my airplanes. And that way, it doesn't look like you got a crooked nose on it, because again, spinner's on the center line of the airplane, not cocked off to the right.
Yeah.
That's a good idea, Keith.
And on this thing, the nose is wide enough to be able to do that. These motor mounts are 1/2 by
what, 3/8?
3/8, I think.
No, it's I'm sorry. They started out as 1 inch by 1/2. That's what they started out as.
1 inch? Wow.
Well, hold on, I forget. No.
So we have 30 concurrent viewers. Thank you very much for tuning in and watching us. We appreciate it. And we have 21 likes. So if you have not hit the like button or smashed the like button, please do that. That helps the analytics of the show. And please consider joining the Stunthangar YouTube channel memberships at just $4.99 a month, or if you want to do the super chat, which is right below the chat box, that helps. Hey, John Miller.
How you doing?
I'm doing well. Well, I'm glad you made it in on a Monday, because Mondays are going to be hit and miss, right?
Sort of. I had trouble with computers tonight. I'm on my laptop right now because I've got to get another network card. I think the one I got was a cheap one, and it's given up the ghost.
Okay. Well, Gary Sinclair had difficulty coming in as well. So,
did you hear from Gordon Delaney tonight?
No. What's going on?
Well, he spent the weekend in the hospital.
No, really?
Yeah, he had a back injury years ago, and he was in his new truck. He was moving stuff and hitching up a trailer, and he jackknifed it one way and dented his car, and jacked it the other way and dented the car. And he went to get out, and he slipped and fell, and he reached and grabbed. And when he grabbed, he felt something pull in his back, right where his whole operation was. So they've had him in the hospital, checking him. They're sending him home tomorrow, and they're going to do some major, what do you call it?
Rehabilitation.
Exercise and rehabilitation.
Rehabilitation.
So he wasn't very happy because he dented both rear quarter panels on his nice pickup truck, and dented the quarter panel on his back.
Yeah.
And that's man, he's had some.
He has.
He has had some challenges. I'm telling you, I know he got to be very frustrated.
Well, Jim Rhodes just told me the story about he was in a full body cast, and they roll him out to the field, stand him up against something, and he'd watch him fly, but he couldn't move, couldn't roll, couldn't do nothing. They had to move him all around. That was the first operation that he had, and I think that's what he messed up, was that first one. He was a heavy equipment mechanic, and something heavy was what caused this problem.
Oh man. Hey Phil, thanks for the like, Phil. Appreciate it. And you got some mad skills, Phil. You're able to do that. That's not everybody can do that.
Cell phone, baby.
Keith, Keith, did you find those dimensions then?
Yeah, the motor mount started out as 1/2 by 5/8.
5/8. Okay.
That's why you had enough room to cut the degree and a half in for the motor then too.
Yeah.
Okay. That's great.
Keith, did you do that for both
I don't know whether the degree and a half makes any difference or not, but at least it's something pointed out rather than pointed in.
Right. At least you know you don't have any in incidents. You know it's at least.
That's what Al told me when he told me about that years ago. He said, you just want enough out thrust so you know you don't have in thrust.
But you know, have you ever stood behind a model airplane when the engine's running?
Yeah.
Does a cat have a climbing gear? I mean, yeah, hundreds of them.
Stand behind it and look, feel where the wind goes, where the prop blast goes.
Yeah.
It's off to the right when you're standing behind
it's off to the left.
Nose. The prop blast is coming to the right.
Mm-hmm.
And
if you stand in front of it.
So I don't know what that means.
Well, it means the one blade is getting a bigger bite than the other.
When it's sitting on the ground?
Yeah.
Yeah, it would have to.
No, not sitting on the ground.
Not sitting on the ground. I bow to a higher authority.
Well, I would have to too, because I would have thought
precession is a dynamic condition. So if it's sitting still, it all should be stable. So,
yeah, and the prop blast coming off that airplane is to the right. So it's like the thrust there's a thrust vector that'd be to the left.
Would that have anything to do with circular prop blast? You know,
it does.
Well,
It's a-
I haven't figured it out.
It's a
And
Coriolis effect, right, Howard?
Okay.
That sounds
Yeah,
like
it works
double
the-
talk to me.
It
Engineering.
works the
double
other
talk.
way for our buddies down in New Zealand and Australia.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
And heaven
Oh.
forbid you use a pusher prop, right? So,
Right.
Yeah.
This has something to do with the airflow around the fuselage and off the tail and so forth, I
Yeah.
think. But
Yeah, that's
Anyway.
circular airflow.
it's probably different
Yeah.
because you're above the airplane rather than below the airplane too. So,
Stand behind an electric plane sometime with a counter rotating prop and see if it goes the other way.
yeah.
That's a good point.
Maybe,
that'd
yeah. So
be,
Ed, what do you think, Ed?
Well, you have P factor on regular aircraft and that, but that's normally as you start accelerating. So
Yeah.
it does swirl around.
but that's when you're turning one way
So,
or the other.
you know, interesting. Never really paid attention to it.
Well, next time you're at the flying field and guys starting these engines, just stand behind the airplane and explain why the prop blast is coming off to the right.
if you're behind the airplane and it goes to the right.
Well, that's might be because
It's
vertical sides of the fuselage and the stab would restrict it on the left side, whereas it's free flowing on the right side.
And it might
Yeah.
have something to do with because it's on the ground. Now, when you pick the airplane up, I don't know whether it's the same thing or not.
Yeah, I
So-
think if you were below the airplane, you would have the exact opposite effect because it would be the swirl coming off the bottom of the prop would be pushing to the left. And the swirl off the top of the prop where you're standing when the airplane is on the ground, it's pushing to the right.
Then have the guy hold the airplane.
You buy
6
that?
feet
You
up.
buying that?
No.
I've
Okay.
seen some stuff where it shows it actually swirling around the fuselage.
Mhm.
But I don't remember at what phase of flight or on the ground it was.
Yeah.
I'll have to look into that because I know I've seen something.
Yeah.
And
I remember reading about the prototype of the P-82 twin Mustang. They first built it. And they had, opposite rotating motors and the props turned. Let's see, the props turned in such a way that they were turning down through the center of the airplane. And the prototype would not leave the ground because it couldn't get any lift off the center section. They swapped the engine side to side and they were able to take off for the test flight. I guess they did some other trimming later on, but they got it
Well,
all fixed up. But
The
they-
P-38 had opposite rotating propellers and they turned them around, had make them work the other way.
Mhm.
And
I think the
then-
Brits, their normal standard was opposite the American standard. They
The Brits started out, they had them both going the same way. That was his
But
first
on
spec.
the Hornet and Sea Hornet, they had them going one way and they ended up making them go the other way. I'll have to
Yeah.
look because there was an article written or one of the histories of the Sea Hornet talks about that.
Most of them, but not all, like to have the props coming down towards the inside and up on the outside of the.
But what it was on the Hornet is different, is the opposite on the P-38.
Oh, then that would be coming from up from the center and
up
around.
through the center. Yeah.
Yeah. I wonder how the that 20 miles 20 was it 23, 24? I wonder how that would have. I don't think they ever built it, so they don't know.
What does Rick
Talking
have
about the other day? Do you have any more on that?
The miles,
Yeah.
just what I've been able to get out of off the internet. There's some 3 views, some factory 3 views, and then there's some plastic kit maker made a kit of it, and it's got 3 views on that, and you can actually build the model, and if you want to really go scale wise, scale off the model, the plastic model. But that's a slick looking little airplane.
It is that.
What does Rick Huff do on his twin stunt plane?
Pardon?
What does Rick Huff do on his twin stunt plane?
Rick Huff? I
Yeah,
don't know.
Rich, yeah, and he's had a couple of them now. I think he was I thought he was using a normal prop on the left side and a reverse prop on the outboard side. So they would have been turning down through the center of the airplane. All right.
Normal on the,
I think that normal on the left, reverse on the right. I think that's how he set it up.
You mean her daughter and her niece?
Yeah. Whatever.
Oh, my daughter. Selena says the last.
I don't know.
Well-
I have to get his butt in there in the chat sometime.
I
That's
think
all.
so, yeah.
Both of them look so beautiful, gorgeous.
It seems to be. It seems to work just fine. Next time, I just suppose even you we get Bob Hunt in here again and ask him what he does with his. I think he was running a normal on the left and the pusher on the right.
Oh,
He has them rotating toward the center.
Last
Yeah.
I,
He has both
well,
props turning to the fuselage.
oh, they are? Oh, okay. Last I heard from him, he had two regular props.
He was running
I've-
really? Wow.
I've run the little Pathfinder twin with the normal props,
Mhm.
and it does just fine. I have that twin flight streak with a pair of 20s on it running normal props. It does fine.
Mhm.
I think at our size, it's kind of a horse piece.
Mhm. Well, I'm not absolutely certain that having neutral torque is the best solution for an airplane that's always turning left around the circle anyway.
Yeah, you got a point there.
Yeah. And so I don't know. So my nephew was working on a gearbox to put a contra prop on a single motor. Had prototypes working and lacking durability, so he never got it airborne.
Isn't that what the Polish people found?
Yeah, there was a gentleman there last year had one like that.
Yeah, Polish
And
people
I
do
guess
that.
I'm just not thoroughly convinced that zero torque is
Well, I don't
as
think
good
so.
as, I'm completely all in on the pushers, of course, but I'm just thinking that I get something out of that torque reaction. And
I don't think it's a
I
matter of
don't know that I'd want to
neutralizing
give it up.
torque.
That's
I
all.
don't think it's a matter of neutralizing torque from one direction to the other. It's a matter of eliminating gyroscopic precession from insides to outside
Mhm.
maneuvers.
Yep. And the Poles, whole Polish team had counter rotating things, except for the kid. And they didn't wiggle in corners.
They didn't?
No. I think it's a dumb way to do it, though. I think the way to do it is to separate the motors out sideways.
Yeah, twins.
Yeah.
You don't have the part failure problem. Those little gearboxes, they take a beating.
Mhm.
Well, there's gearboxes or there's two motors on concentric shafts. That's another way to do it.
Yeah, that's the other way
Yeah.
to do it. So I don't know. It's enough. It's enough to drive you to flying sailplanes. So
No,
Don't do that,
you
Dennis.
got
I'm
two
getting,
motors spinning opposite directions, two ESCs, everything like that. Yeah.
I just got my
Dennis,
charger.
we already did that once.
Yeah.
I just
That's
got my
it.
electric car charger. I can't go to sailplanes now.
All right.
All right.
I've already
What,
been, says Dennis.
you got batteries in the chart. No wonder he wants to take a show on the road this year. He's afraid to fly the electric. He might like it. So anyhow.
So yeah, we're gonna fly the electric and see how that goes. That could be interesting.
It's gonna do just fine, and
I
just
just
like
gotta
all
have
the
some-
other
I just gotta
all
have
your
somebody-
airplanes fly just fine.
Yeah, I just need
there's
to
not
help-
gonna be any issue.
I
So,
just need somebody to help me set it up and show me how to charge and discharge the batteries because I don't know anything about them. I don't want to light my house up.
that's considered bad form. Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
yeah.
Yeah.
So
I
we'll
can sure
get
help.
somebody that knows how to do Stuart. If you know how to do it, that's great. But I need somebody to show me how, and I need somebody to show me how to put an arming plug in this airplane because I don't know
Well,
anything
that's
about that
nothing.
either.
That's nothing. Arming plug's
Right.
nothing.
It's nothing unless you're the guy standing there who hasn't got a helper to show him what wire to cut to patch this thing in. I mean, I understand electrical, that's not a problem, but I just don't know how guys do that. It's all new to me, but we'll figure it out.
When I bought my arming plug, it came with all the ends on. I just hooked up the motor to one end, hooked up the ESC to the other, and then the other one had the actual plug that actually I would disconnect it or connect it. That makes sense.
I don't guess this would be a good time to tell him about putting a resistor in line and a switch to prevent all that arcing. Well, we better wait and tell him that
Well,
later.
you can buy it set up already for.
Oh,
no
hey,
arcing.
come on now, Phil. Tryon says it's plug and play. It's all easy. Come on now, don't go there with me.
No, it's plug and pray.
Yeah, plug and pray. I'm sorry, I didn't hear that. I must.
That's
what it is.
I'm sorry. Sometimes
pray.
I have a.
Sometimes I speak with a lisp. Maybe.
Okay.
Yeah.
Plug and pray. Okay.
Yeah.
Certainly got my attention the first time I plugged in a 6-cell.
Oh yeah.
And arc.
I thought
I burned up. I thought I burned it up.
Yeah, that's it.
I went back and reread Igor's article, and I went and bought myself a pack of resistors and came home and put myself a switch on the side of the plane. New SV has a switch on the side, a push button on the side of the plane. Push that, wait for the beep, and then plug in the shortened plug.
Like
everybody thinks you got all that crap on the side of your airplane. Yeah, but I don't. I've seen Bob Hunt said he had a bad battery at the Nats last year. I wonder, was it a bad battery or was it a burnt connection from just plugging in 6 cells? If Bob says it was a cell, it was a cell, but I've seen some other people do it and it wasn't the cell, it was a connector that had gotten burnt. Do what?
What?
Oh, okay. I don't know.
Something like I don't know. I still prefer that challenge compared to looking for dingleberries on the glow plug. So.
Oh God, I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Those are called taters.
I'm just tired of $18 glow plugs and $60 propellers and.
Yeah, well, I never made it that far, so.
Isn't a good propeller for an electric $60 too?
I don't know. I use a $5 prop. I'm doing fine with it.
Okay.
Yeah, you can spend $35 or $50 on a prop and everything.
So
like
how
that,
much does an Igor
everything,
prop cost?
everything I have is, the props are
$50?
single digits.
Okay.
So
it's pretty much
that's what I'm using.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm just using a badass prop. It's like 12 or 13 bucks.
Yeah, the APCs are easy to come by. They work well.
Oh yeah.
The badass props I think are better, and they're still they're extremely, they're made by Zor. They're extremely well made props.
Zor props are what I use.
Yeah.
Yeah, Zor's
they work well and they're still pretty cheap. So
Zor's what I want to go to, but I'm got a brand new airplane and I don't know if it's going to fly at all. So I bought a cheap 3-blade prop and put on it. And if it works, that's probably what I'll stick with for a while. But it works good enough for the Adamoff brothers. They've done well with it. So that's why I decided to choose it.
Yeah, next year, I'm going to be switching over to I got a bunch of Bob McDonald 3-blades. I'm going to be running those next year. So I messed around with them enough to know that there's a payoff there. So
yeah.
I saw him on the weekend.
You mean this year?
This year, yeah.
Okay.
Well, haven't hardly started it, so this year is still next year. So I haven't really got into it. You know what I mean? But
right.
Yeah.
This year, yeah.
I saw Bob at Toledo on Friday.
Did you?
I did. Wished him congratulations on getting into the Hall of Fame for Tampa.
Nice. Oh, very cool.
Good deal.
So how is the Toledo get
It was
together.
very good. I enjoyed it. It was a good time, and they had lots of stuff there, lots of people there. It was a good thing. It was, yeah, it was well set up. I was surprised.
I thought it was just a swap meet anymore, and then I got a note here late in the week that
No, there was all
Innovative
kinds
was
of.
there with their motors and stuff. I've heard that there's quite a few vendors there,
Oh
actually,
yeah,
for real
Melvin Shooty
vendors.
was there even.
Who was?
Melvin Shooty, he was there.
Oh, really?
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
And I'll bet what is it? Randy Rich?
Randy Rich was there for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Brad and I brought back 14 cases of fuel.
Wow.
Wow.
Nice.
He must have loved you
Wow.
at customs.
Yeah, they didn't say a word.
All right.
Not a
Really?
word. We got some model airplane fuel and a few parts and pieces. See ya. Have a nice day.
And they probably thought you was the typical model, only having 1 gallon of fuel, not 14 cases.
Yeah. See you later. Have a nice day. Yeah, we will.
Every year I plan to go to that thing, and every year something happens.
Well, I'll tell you,
Yeah.
I got to tell you, I went in 2019 and it wasn't as good as it was this time. This time it
Really?
was pretty darn good. Oh yeah, it
Well,
was.
maybe
good.
next year will be better. Hopefully, I can
I
make
had
it
a really
next year.
good time. It was good.
So besides the fuel, what else did you get, Lynn?
I bought a couple old beater motors. That's about all. I bought a Banshee kit for Naomi and
Nice.
what else? And a T-shirt for Naomi. That was about it. Didn't buy too much, but I had a good time. Yeah.
I enjoyed your little story about flying the Rodak P-51 and
Oh,
scale.
the Brodak P-51 Mustang is a great airplane. All those
Which one?
warbirds fly amazing. That P-51, I'd put it up against anybody on any day and be competitive with that airplane. I was shocked how good it flies.
Is that the one Denny built, or the one, or the other one? Which
I don't
Denny
know.
is he talking?
No,
is he-
Dennis built the other one. Dennis built the old Sterling one that Brodak took over. Right, Dennis?
Yeah, Len built the Brodak Warbird series, the Mike Garmin airplane.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
the
it's
Warbird.
That is
a
a-
real
Yeah, the
good
one I
flying
built was
airplane.
just the Sterling. So
Okay, well, that Sterling flies pretty darn good.
Not
Mike's
compared to the
airplane. I
Warbird.
remember seeing Mike fly the prototype, and that was a nice airplane. He had a KNB 28 on the prototype.
Mhm.
That was
So
a
what is the
really good airplane.
wingspan of your Brodak Warbird, Lynn?
48. 48.
Yeah, they're 48 inch.
48 inches.
48
Oh,
inches. And I'll tell you, when we built that, Naomi and I built it together, and when it was done, she says, "Well, you're not flying it." What do you mean I'm not flying it? She says, "I'm test flying this one, and I'm going to fly it. You don't get to fly it."
Nice.
I never flew that airplane once until she'd been flying it for 3 years. I never flew it once. And then one weekend I was going to a fun scale contest in Toronto, and she wasn't able to make it. And she said, "Well, why don't you take my Mustang and fly it in fun scale?" "Really? You want me to fly it?" She says, "Well, you should be able to fly it. It flies really well." "Okay, I'll take it and fly it." So I took it and entered it in fun scale. And as soon as the thing rolled out and took off, I'm like, "Oh my God, does this ever fly amazing?" Like it was just dead nuts on. I'm like, "Wow, this flies incredible." So I won fun scale on Saturday. And then Sunday, somebody came to me and said, "Are you flying profile stunt?" And I said, "No, I'm not flying profile stunt. I was planning to judge profile and fly in big stunt." And then somebody says, "Well, we really need another entry for profile stunt. Naomi's Mustang's in the back. Can you fly that?" And I'm like, "Oh, I don't know if I want to do that. I've never even flown a pattern with this thing." And I'm thinking, if I crash that, Naomi will take my head off. I'm not going to live to see tomorrow. But I thought, all right, I'll fly, but I'm going to be very gentle with this airplane. Well, let me tell you, after the reverse wing over, I knew I didn't have to be gentle. It was that good. I was like, wow, this thing is just dead on.
Wow, I'm really intrigued.
Yeah, really good flying airplane.
I'd like to make a red tail airplane, and that'd be a really
I
good
must
one.
have, when I did the plans on that, I must have changed the spacing then on the ribs to give it
Okay.
that extra because Garmin took a nobler wing and he took the center section out of it
Okay,
and brought it in, and that's why it's 470 square inches.
okay.
Uh,
Well,
I-
John, you did a great job because that airplane is just tickety-boo.
well,
Tickety-boo.
what was the span you said that was on it?
48.
48.
48.
So all the others have 43 inches, so it has 5 more inches. That would
No,
easily be.
they're all 48.
Oh,
I
they're
think
all
I got
48.
a Mauler. I think it's 46 because it's got a real flat wingtip on it.
Oh, okay.
And my
But
buddy
They're
has
all,
a zero.
they're all the same basic wing. I think the zero might actually be a little bigger because it's got a fully rounded tip on it.
And it's
but,
a really good
No,
flying airplane too.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
supposedly the same. The one that has the bigger wing is that has
Breaking up,
that.
John.
I know. I increased the spacing on the ribs and gave
Mhm.
it a much larger wing.
Well, Mike
And-
always said that he liked the Zero and then the Mustang was his two favorites,
Okay.
the way they
Well,
flew.
he was flying them.
He flew the Mustang more than anything. I think he sold the Zero pretty quick.
The
but,
Mustang, the Mustang that was on the plans that Rodak sent me was incomplete. The kit was, I mean, the drawing was incomplete, but it showed a sketch and outline for a D model Mustang. And there are so many D model Mustangs that have been kitted, for stunt and for sport and all that over the years. And I thought to myself, check with John, make sure it's okay. And I changed it to a BC model with the fastback.
And it's nice. I like that.
Oh,
It's very nice,
Yeah.
John. It's a great airplane.
But that was what's his name? Willis.
Willis
Is it Willis?
Swindell. Willis Swindell. That was
Yeah.
Mike's buddy, flying partner.
Okay, well, Mike's drawing, Mike's design,
Yeah.
all
Willis
I
built
did
several of the prototypes.
changed the profile.
Yeah.
I don't know, John, I was messing around with the plans and I couldn't help myself. I added a constant accord center section and put a second fuselage on it. It says, I'm going to build a twin Mustang with B fuselages and see if anybody notices.
Yeah, that'll get him.
And,
That's so
the reaction, people would look at it and they'll say, something isn't right here, They might catch it, they might not,
Eventually someone would.
Only you.
Yeah.
Only you.
Well, I was going to do the same thing with the BF 109 model. There was a twin Messerschmitt,
Yeah.
fuselage Messerschmitt, and I don't think they ever they had it prototyped and it was destroyed in a bombing raid. I have to go back and read about it, but I
Well-
don't think it ever got airborne. But
What I think would be fun to do is if you really want to beat yourself up, that flying bomb where they had the Focke-Wulf 190
yeah,
on top, and
I
that
think
was-
Keith would like to have a little talk with you.
And it had the twin engine bomber underneath it,
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
and they fly and they disconnect the 190 just before impact.
Yep. That's it. That's it.
Lordy.
I have a comment from Brent
Oh,
Williams.
look here, John.
Look at there. Make him big, would you?
I will. Here we go.
Oh, my goodness.
Now there's a stunt model for you right there.
A biplane trimotor. Okay.
Oh my goodness.
So the pilot was actually in the FW, the Messerschmitt.
Yeah, no,
Well,
right.
there are several versions of this idea. One of them had the Focke-Wulf on top. This one has the Messerschmitt. And they use several different airplanes for the bottom. This is JU-88. This is for profile. This is all around bomb up here in the front.
Yeah. Wow.
Wow, that is
How'd
nice.
that fly,
Keith.
Keith?
Wow.
It flies like a scale airplane. It just kind of goes up and It'll do close to a 45-degree high flight and touch and go. There's a throttle to all 3 engines. Throttle on this top engine, the throttle control
Wow.
comes up this one. These.
Oh
Wow.
my goodness.
So there is a motor in there. Good gracious.
Yeah, all 3.
Yeah.
All 3 motors
Look
go.
at that.
Oh my goodness. Look at
Look at
this.
that. My goodness. Ah. Oh,
That is just cool as they come.
That's cute. Yeah.
Yeah. the
Okay,
neat thing-
John, you got any other ideas?
One thing about this thing is the scale and profile of fuselage can't be more than 1 inch wide, but it can be 1.5 inches diameter up here. This complies with the rules. It's 1.5 inches in diameter and a scale diameter up here in the front. And back here, this part of the fuselage, it's scale as far as the width from here on back. And then
wow.
at the tapered, it's only 1 inch thick up in here behind support for the nose.
And
You know, it's a shame you guys stopped flying that big then.
We ran out of a flying site.
Did you?
Yeah.
Uh,
The one in Tucson deteriorated, where the whole thing was where you could fly on short lines there. Then we're flying at a big shopping center in Phoenix. And then they started charging for the use of that parking lot. So the event died.
oh, that's too bad.
But it's got some detail on the landing gear. I don't know if you can see it.
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Sort
Cool.
of scale.
Looks like you almost retract them.
Well, there's no room.
Oh, yeah.
And then the scale detail on the tail wheel.
Yeah.
Fender skirt. That's neat.
Oh my goodness. Well, I better
Mhm.
shut up or you'll have to pull out another one.
No, keep going.
Well,
Okay.
just to show, there's several different plastic kits on this Mistel concept, but this one I use for my scale presentation. This is color documentation and all that from the scale kit, and the proper colors are shown on the plans from the scale plastic kit. But
Wow.
this airplane is.
Wow.
Very neat.
That
Very
is
neat.
outstanding, Keith. Outstanding.
You hadn't seen this before, John?
No, I hadn't.
Hmm.
I didn't know it existed. I saw your twin with the high T-tail, but I hadn't seen that one.
And I was kind of concerned about how sturdy this top airplane was. I've got a steel rod anchored to the wing. Well, you can't see it here. There's a steel rod on these two front supports here, anchored
Uh-huh.
to the wing spar here, and then this tail brace just sticking there. But it's sturdy. I mean, it's
Yeah.
pulled together.
Mm-hmm.
Very neat.
Basically, you got a 3-engine biplane.
Well, with that scale rules in Tucson, you got extra credit for more than 2 engines and extra credit for more than 1 wing. So
Yeah, yeah. That was that was a sleeping giant.
Absolutely.
and I use flat bottom on all my scale airplanes. I use a flat bottom tank, Uniflow, with the pickup tube on the very bottom of the tank. And they've always worked. Maybe, I don't know, 10 scale airplanes I've used that on, and no problem whatsoever.
It should work just fine. I can't see why you'd have to go any other way for a scale airplane.
Not for scale.
Yeah. So you got the colors off the kit.
Yeah.
Now I'm gonna have to find out if I can get hold of one of those kits for that miles 22. Is it 22 or 23, 24? I forget which one it is now.
And the kit even explains the federal stock number for these colors. So.
Oh, really?
This is all class code. All the colors are class code.
Wow.
The markings, these are vinyls that Kaylee did for me, the gal there and girl in New Mexico.
Uh-huh.
So I sent her what I wanted. Anyway, and there's some ink lines. I don't know if that shows up or not.
Yeah, a little bit. I see them. Yeah. Oh, that's just super. I really like that.
And last time I flew it, it kind of nosed over and you can see the probe here.
Bomb almost went off.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to fix that. I'm planning on taking this to Muncie in July for
Oh, cool.
profile scale.
Yeah.
That's great.
But I'm not
What
going.
props are those? Those three bladers are on the bomber.
Oh, these are for show.
Oh, okay.
They're cut. These were, I don't know, some props, some commercial 3-bladed prop, but I changed the shape of them to be a little bit more scale.
I see.
Butterflies are 2-blade props.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. Well, you got to bring out your little Hornet, that little T-tailed version.
The which?
That Hornet? Didn't
Oh.
you do a Hornet?
No.
What was it? It was a
Well,
British twin with a high T-tail. I thought it
Oh, that's the Whirlwind.
Whirlwind. Okay.
You want to see that?
Yes.
Hold on.
Hey, Len,
Yeah,
are you flying Wednesday?
I think I'm working Wednesday.
Okay.
I think I'm off Friday, Saturday, Sunday, or Saturday, Sunday, Monday. I think it's Saturday, Sunday, Monday I'm off.
Okay.
I think Stuart is looking for somebody with a tree limb trimmer. So,
The tree.
tree trimmer. Yeah.
Let me just check my schedule. Hang on.
Denny, all I can see is the top of your head.
Well, that's it. I should block my video, then you wouldn't be bothered with that.
Well, it was just a glare, you know. That's why I got mine up, you know, where you can't.
That's it.
Hey, Denny, what's the KV equivalent from a Torpedo 19?
There it is.
You know?
Look at
What
that.
are you looking for again?
Electric motor that would match a Torpedo 19.
For a KV 19 and probably a 9.4 prop, so I'd use something like a probably a 22, 21 motor or something like that.
Look at
go
that.
offline with that, which I can write you a recommendation on that. All right.
Now that was built with a Griffin engine, wasn't it?
No.
Oh, they call these Peregrine engines, which was before the Griffin.
Okay.
Oh,
that looks great.
Show me how you got your high fin to work, your high stab. I see what looks like a RC.
Well, okay. This was built to fly in a St. Louis contest for their FA scale rules, and they required that the control system had to be exposed. So we have a circular bell crank here with the lead outs in that come through the nacelle here. So that's all exposed. And there's a bolt on a
lead out guide.
Yeah, bolt on a tip guide out here. And then the push rod, this is a nyrod, or what's they call nyrod, I think.
Yeah.
And connects to the bell crank here. And it had to be exposed, so I sort of embedded it, but it's exposed. It runs up here, and it's a direct connection then into the elevator.
How'd that work for you? Was it smooth?
Huh?
Was it smooth acting? Did it?
Oh,
you
yeah.
have any troubles with it?
No drag at all.
Really?
I don't know if you can see. There we go.
Yeah.
I've got a plane. I've got a plane laying in the background that has a high tail, and I was thinking about going with a nyrod. And so I wanted to ask you how it worked for you.
This works really well. It's smooth, and no play. I had a T-tailed stunt or tall tail on a stunt ship once, and I had a transfer bell crank in here. And that's just an extra set of linkages that creates more play.
Yeah.
This really, there's absolutely no play in this.
That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
Would you think that would work on a stunter too?
I don't know why not.
Okay.
John, we did that on sailplanes for years.
Looks like a cool idea.
High T-tails.
Yeah.
Some of the designs would come out and they'd have, like Keith was saying, a bell crank at the bottom. We just take a knot rod and run it up there to it. It's
an extra bell crank in here. That's an extra set of linkages.
yeah, and another place to create slop and another place to have a problem. So
and 6 more weight there. This is probably a heck of a lot lighter than having a bell crank mounted in
Yeah.
here with
Yeah.
quick
Yeah, for sure.
Well,
All
I've always liked that little plane. You
I've
know,
always believed in keeping it simple as you can. I mean, do away with the complications as much as possible. What is that wire that's hanging on, Keith?
Oh, that's an antenna.
Oh, okay.
It had all sorts of antennas sticking on this thing. I don't know if
Oh, okay.
pictures or not.
that's slick.
That is really, you were just a phenomenal builder.
And there's some landing gear again. Some of the detail, we've got some of it in there as far as the struts and all that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's neat. Very, very neat.
Nice airplane.
Bet that was a little quirky to fly though with that little bitty bell crank.
Just use a really small handle.
Well,
So-
yeah, that makes sense.
Did you wind up with up thrust or down thrust in that stab?
I mounted as close to 0 as I could. So I don't know what it, I don't know how I made, what I used to measure, but I was doing everything I could to keep it at 0
Yeah.
incidents.
I would almost think you might be
You won't go out.
able to have a degree or two of up thrust or positive on the stab.
Well, one problem with this airplane, I used Brodak paint on it. And I used 25–30% nitro, and that sort of just dissolves the paint.
Oh,
Anyway, again, the markings came from Kaylee Graphics in Mexico, and she does great work.
Well,
I gotta
thank
get
you
in
for
touch with
bringing
her.
it out, Keith. I really appreciate that.
It really is sharp. I got to get in touch with her to do the graphics for my Bearcat, the big Bearcat.
She says she's done some work for me recently. There's she said about 4 or 5 week delay in getting it turned around. She got me my
That's all right.
stuff in like 2 weeks. So
I don't mind waiting.
what I need to do is get a longer extension on my camera and take this thing around and show you the other room where all this stuff's hanging on the wall.
yeah. Oh, that'd be nice.
Yeah, that would be great.
Yeah.
Well, like I said, thanks for bringing it out, Keith. I sure
Yeah, I
appreciate it.
enjoyed seeing it again. I've forgotten how pretty it really was.
Absolutely.
I've seen that one in person, and I was so impressed.
Yeah. And these are the Norvell 061s. And they've got plenty of power.
Did you make those spinners or?
These were just some plastic cup things that were about the right size and shape. And that's for presentation. But Bob Whitney turned me spinners for it out of brass. I think I needed more weight.
Oh.
I got brass spinners for the ones I fly with. Because right now this thing is really tail heavy. Yeah, it's tail heavy.
Wow. Wow, that is tail heavy. Yeah.
Wow, how about that?
So I got some heavy metal spinners to bring the weight up. The engines don't like it very well, but and I don't know how long they last, but you don't fly these things very often, so we'll see.
Yeah, I've just built a half a stunner, and I built it for a 51 because I thought the rule said you couldn't have an 049 or 051. Now I'm finding out it's 061. Oh, that would have been so much neater, and could have had the little muffler on it too. So yeah, maybe the next one.
Thank you, Keith.
Yeah,
that is just so nice, Keith. You did a good job as usual.
I have a chat message from Ara Daddy Clean. I'm butchering his name or her name. But that person says, smack the Midwest ME 109 into an oak tree so hard the mounting bolt sheared off.
Holy
Ouch. Oh, look at this.
I feel so bad.
Oh,
No,
look
I
at
can't.
this.
I
What are we
can't get,
looking at?
can't get any closer than that.
Let me make it big. I'm sorry. Hang on one second.
Look at
Just
the-
that view.
What is that, a B-58?
That's the B,
Oh,
the B-47.
B-47.
B-47D.
Oh, B-58's a Delta. I know what that is.
The
And the
B-47.
chisels on the ground.
The
Just misspoke.
B-47D had turboprops on it.
Yeah, that chiseler is gorgeous.
Oh, that.
Oh, look
Thank
at
you.
that. Look at
Oh,
that.
wow. Wow.
What is the V-tail thing?
That's a Goodyear Sweet Pea racer.
That's
Goodyear
cute.
racer.
Wow.
Plans were by Sam Calhoun Smith in 1948 Mechanics Illustrated.
Wow.
Neat deal. That's cute.
Mechanics Illustrated. Wow. I remember my dad used to collect that magazine.
Is that a chief back there?
No, that's a J.C. Yates. Oh boy, what's that thing called? Dragon.
Oh,
Each second,
That's a dragon, yeah.
Good
that's your old
dragon.
Focal Wolf there.
And the Spirit of St. Louis, that's a Walt Musciano design, again, Mechanics Illustrated. And I've flown that in old time stunt at VSC a couple times.
ah,
My word. That is
Very
good.
nice.
I'll get an extension on this thing so you can see what's in this other room.
Sure, that'd be great.
I'm
Yeah.
Just
kind
part
of
of it.
jealous, Pete.
Oh, you seeing the wingtip there? That's the Russian bear.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, a bear.
And there's a picture of the Walker Cup down there in the bottom right. Or I don't know if it's your right,
Yeah.
but it's at the bottom. And there's a picture of the Martin Baker of the MB5 that won the scale of the Nationals. And all those trophies are from national stuff.
Neat deal.
Anyway, and this is
Beautiful.
another thing. Oh, that shows up.
Oh, yeah.
More stuff.
Wow.
A bunch of trophies in there. That's all from nationals. And then just paraphernalia. There's a trophy in there for the national or United States team won at the World Championships. I think that was in what 2004, whatever it was when the championships were here.
Do you have any
Yeah.
trophies from your military career? When you're on the
Yeah,
military team?
from the Air Force meets.
Yeah,
I don't know if they can show. Doesn't show very well. Those two brown plaques there towards the corner of the wall. Those are from the Air Force meets.
oh, cool.
With the,
Quite a team to beat there for a while.
well, the National Air Force team won the national team championship for, I don't know, 10, 15 years.
Yeah, yeah, you guys are pretty tough.
Well, they had a formula that worked. No, and then guys from the South, I think from North Carolina or South Carolina, they figured out what the Air Force was doing and they turned the tables on the Air Force and did it better. And they
Oh.
beat the Air Force. And that's the last time the Air Force sent a team, but they don't do team championships at the Nationals anymore, which I think is a mistake.
I
Just like
tend to
they don't-
agree with you.
Just like they don't do a national champion at the Nationals anymore. But Air Force team, I don't know if the national teams, be five-man teams from anywhere in the country. And each of 5 guys could fly up to 9 events, had to be 3 control line, 3 free flight, and then 3 of anything else. And the Air Force team really dominated that because they always had a whole bunch of free flight. They always did well or could score well in free flight and pick up points in the speed circles. But people in from the Carolinas, they figured out, well, they were speed flyers to begin with. So they doubled up on all the speed events that they could in control line, and they still have to fly 3 free flight, but they'd fly 6 control line events, mostly speed. And the other secret the Air Force had, they had their 5-man team out there flying as the official team, but they had 5 men working with them as mechanics, chasers, holders, waiting in line for the next flight, sitting in the Navy hangar, repairing airplanes or whatever. And so it was really a 10-man team that made that work. But the people from Arizona, their kids were flying the speed events and their dads were the helpers doing all the work. And that's how the Air Force got beat.
Do you remember Bob Brooks from San Diego? He used to fly with Dave Sabon.
Yeah.
Bob Brooks is in the Navy team.
Navy team, they sent team a couple times, rather sporadic. They didn't always have a team there. Army sent a team once, but that was, I think, once. But there
I have
were
a chat. I have a comment from Mike Lonke. This is Phil. The Brodak rules for half a stunt have always included engines up to 061. Since the creation of the event, they are published on the event flyer every year. So.
Oh, I know, but I mean, we have local rules. And that was what I was going by, our local rules, because we have a big meet in Charlotte. But the 061, I had been told was not allowed anymore. And then I built it for an 051. And then the very person who told me that it was not allowed has an 061 in his. So
go figure.
Ah, nice guy. Nice, fair competitor.
It doesn't make sense.
Drives
doesn't
you
make sense
crazy.
to limit it to 049s anymore because there aren't any 049s built in the country, but in the worldwide, there's all sorts of 1cc engines, 061s that are available anywhere in the world, any number of them. So
I'll tell you what, they run so much better too. I mean, they just one flip, start and go. Much better motors. I don't know. The Cox were great in their day. I mean, they had their day. But then a Fox 35 was a great motor in its day too.
Hey, Len, did you check your schedule there? Or?
Yeah, I'm working till 1 o'clock on Wednesday, so that probably isn't going to happen.
Okay. Do you want to maybe, can I bring the twister up later that week? Like
Sure.
this week?
Yeah,
Okay.
You can bring it up on Wednesday if you like in the afternoon type of thing, if you want to come after you fly.
Or would you rather do it a different day after you're?
I don't care.
Like
doesn't matter to
Friday or
me.
Saturday?
Yeah, that'll work.
Okay, maybe I'll do it.
Okay, I'll talk to you after anyway about it.
Okay, I'm
I'll
gonna
call
head. See you guys later.
Okay.
Hey, thanks for coming in, Stuart. I'll see you Friday.
Hopefully.
All righty.
Well, I think I'm gonna have to go walk the dog.
Okay.
Because he's about to worry me to death. You guys be careful. Have a great week.
Thanks for coming in, Phil.
Somebody go flying.
Easy,
Oh, yeah.
Take care, Phil.
Y'all be careful. Have a great week.
Cheers.
You too.
Yeah. See ya.
Have one for me, guys.
All righty. Thank you.
Mhm.
And we're going to be ending the live stream in like 15 minutes anyhow.
I didn't have the light on down there.
You didn't. Let me make
No.
it big.
We have to start over.
There you see it
Yes.
from
Oh, look
there.
at that. Yeah, we can see much better. Wow.
Anyway,
So where's your shop at? It's another room, obviously.
it's off to my right, but
So your shop is in the house, not in the garage?
oh yeah, it's in the house. It's part of the basement. It's part of a finished basement we have.
Nice. Very nice.
Anyway, I enjoy showing off.
Yeah, well, you know what? It's a treat. It really is.
Yeah, we enjoy seeing it. It's
Yeah,
all
you are a
good.
treasure, Keith. Really appreciate you, man. Appreciate everybody.
Okay, guys, I'm gonna be 80 tomorrow.
You're gonna be 80 tomorrow?
Hi.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Congrats.
Oh, Gary,
Happy
that's
birthday,
awesome.
Well,
Gary.
happy birthday, man. That's awesome.
Good for you, Gary.
Uh-huh.
I hope I'm in as good a shape when I'm 80.
Yeah.
You wish you was
I know.
in that good a shape now, Lenny. Come on.
What's that?
You wish you were in that good a
Good a
shape
shape
now.
now. You're right.
That's it.
Yeah, you're right. Good point.
Wow.
Where's the chain? Pull, 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 pull.
Yeah. But we never know when we get up in here.
Yeah, you never know.
That's it.
Yeah.
But every day is a gift for me.
Right.
That's right.
Hey, Dennis, that was cold-blooded, man.
Thank you.
Yeah, not to worry. I got big shoulders. I can handle it.
That's all right. He's already planning the comeback, and it ain't gonna be pretty. So
So I have a comment from Brett Williams. He said Gordon Delaney was hospitalized for a few days for his back, tweaked it, and was in severe pain. Should be coming home soon for in-home physical therapy. Thank you, Brent. Appreciate it. Yeah, John Miller had told us about that and asked if we had heard from Gordon. So that's good. I mean, it's good to hear that he was going to be coming home soon.
Supposed to be home tomorrow.
Very good.
that's good.
Yeah, it's really good.
Now I've been reading about Tom Morris, and man,
Tell you, we're
going through a lot right now, and just got to keep watching out for him. I guess praying for him. So
yeah. So is he home?
Apparently not yet. That's what I gather from going through the message. He's not home yet, but sounds like he's about as stable as they can make him and everything like that. So I don't know. There's one nice gentleman.
Yeah, I met him at the Nats and met him at Brodax.
Well, if there's anything that you can point to of what Pampa became, was largely due to Tom Morris and what he did with the newsletter. That's
You're
not a
absolutely
newsletter,
right.
it's a magazine.
Absolutely.
A 96-page newsletter, that's something else. Yeah, it was all good stuff.
Yes.
And our membership went from what, 300, 400, 500 to 1,600 at one time, I think. Because of that.
1,600 in Pampa?
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow.
There's Steve.
Hey,
Hey, how you doing?
not so good, but I'm
That
making it,
sucks.
getting around better. So,
Oh man.
yeah, sorry I didn't see you there Friday.
It happens. What are you gonna do? You know, if you get hurt, you get hurt.
Gonna go, guys. See
Hey,
you later.
Keith, thank you
Take it
so
easy,
much,
Keith.
Keith.
Good night, Keith.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good night.
Good night.
Well, at least you had a good time, huh?
It was a really good time. Yeah, there was a lot of good stuff there this time. It was awesome.
Yeah, Jeff said that he got an Inya 63 or what? No, a 60 type 3 or whatever
Okay.
for an airplane that he got for a decent deal, and
There was a lot of motors that were a decent deal at that meet. I was shocked how many there were. you know, like all the motors that I saw, or most of them, were not overpriced. I mean, for $50, you could have some pretty amazing motors at Toledo. I was pretty surprised.
Yeah, he waited till the last day. I don't if it was Saturday, I think.
Okay.
Or something. What? You got it for $25. He said.
Yeah, exactly.
Look really good, but he wants it for his control line scale airplane that he's building.
Okay.
So
it's an Enya. You should have got it for $5.
Yeah.
These new ones you're talking about, or the used?
Was that the rear exhaust one?
No, it's side exhaust. It's a bypass motor.
Okay.
Yeah, the old
ones that
Enya
Len
Mark
don't like
III
that
is
take
a,
like 10 years to break it.
yeah.
What a
Yeah,
waste
the
of
Enya
time.
60 Mark III was a heck of an engine. I think it would beat the heck out of a Super Tiger 60 or anything like that. They were really, really strong.
Yeah, that's what they said. That's why I don't know. Jeff wanted it because he's seen them before.
Mhm.
Oh, damn.
Brad LaPointe used to have an Enya 60 and a Score. That thing pulled my arm off just about.
Yeah.
It
The
was a little-
scores pull your arms off anyways.
Yeah, it was something, I tell you. Enya 60 and a Score. I mean, I remember my arm after. I'm like, holy crap, what do you got there? Very powerful motor. Had tremendous power.
Yeah, I had a Randy Smith 51 in my Score.
Notice I say he had.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I wore it out actually.
Eventually, yeah, well, that's what happened to Brad's. It disintegrated in one day. It wasn't pretty.
Yeah, the upright on the flap horn, it was a stock horn and it just fractured and broke.
Well, and Brad's, the flap horn came right off. Like one of the horns came right, one of the flaps went fluttering off, and it's like, oh, here we go. Whammo.
Yeah, I was fortunately
pretty.
I was doing the pattern, and then I went to do another maneuver, and it's like, whoa, I had to give it more and more and more control, and I barely saved the plane, and I just stopped doing maneuvers, and I got it down, and I was like, everything's working because the upright, the part that fractured off was floating in the air. So it still had all the push rods connected to it.
Wow.
So the controls were working, but they were just really,
So you
sloppy.
got it down in one piece?
Yeah.
Wow,
Yeah.
good for you.
Yeah. And then I just I basically I still have the wing. I just cut it all up and threw away everything else but the wing.
Cool.
I heard that the wing is supposed to be like a that they suspect Top Flight copied the wing from the Trivia Pursuit, or part of it, maybe minus the wingtips.
On which, the Score?
Yeah.
Was it a Trivia Pursuit? Was it that heavy?
No, but
Charles,
the
look
airfoil.
who's
The
here.
airfoil.
Oh,
and
they copied the airfoil. Oh, I thought you said they copied the wing.
Yeah. Yeah, that wing probably had plywood in it. Thing was so heavy.
I think the airfoil on that is a 4-digit.
Hey, Tony's in here. Hey, Tony. Trivia Pursuit. Or part of it, maybe minus the wingtip. Oh, Tony, you gotta close one of your tabs or mute your other.
Pursuit? Was it that heavy?
No, maybe
Charles,
the airfoil.
they copied.
Thank you, Tony.
There we go.
Hey, we can see you now. Fantastic. Thanks for coming in.
Your kitty wants out.
Yeah, he's not allowed out.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I built 2 stabilizer elevators for the kids tonight.
Oh, very cool. Very cool. What plane is that for?
It's a termite half
Oh,
A.
nice.
I'm doing one for my son, one for my nephew.
Oh, very cool. Very cool, Tony. That's awesome.
Was it 049?
Yeah. So I think it's like a 20 something. Still waiting for them to get delivered. So that'll hold it up on the nose.
What plane do you have hanging up there above the curtain there?
That's a Banshee. That's the one
cool.
Jack Sheets article and Control Line magazine had a whole deal on with the longer stabilizer elevator. Reduced nose, so it's not so long. It's got a built up stabilizer elevator. It's a good plane. I like it. Caffeine should take a look at that one. He's not in
Yeah,
tonight.
I know. That's what I was thinking about caffeine. And what do you have for power in that Banshee?
Old school Fox 35.
Oh, cool. Well, Jeff
Absolutely.
Riley would love to hear that too. Jeff Riley loves Fox 35s. Oh, very
There you
nice.
go.
Yep.
Oh, that's pretty, Tony. I like the colors you chose.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And so is that dope in tissue or what is it?
Monocoat.
Monocoat. Okay, very nice. Looks really good.
Nice
It's
job.
36 ounces.
That's good.
Yeah.
Very light.
Yeah. It's 36 ounces with all the motor and everything on it. As it stands. That's what I just started flying. I haven't flown for, I don't know, 15 years. Just started getting back into it, hearing you guys talk.
Oh, that is cool. That's what it's all about. You know, Mark Wise thinks that that's where the future is getting people who used to fly, get them back into the hobby.
Mhm.
Because they have.
This is one I fly in my field on my yard.
All right.
Oh, very cool.
That's electric.
Oh,
So
wow.
35 lines, little flight streak. Badass motor, badass ECU, timer.
Very nice.
Colored the timer red. Did some of that. This here coating is from my stepmom's hobby stuff. She makes wreaths out of it. It's like, well, that would be cool to cover the wiring in. That's another little thing. I got projects. There's a Voodoo there.
Oh, nice.
Acromaster build starting in there. That one's kind of been a long project. I've been building on that one for a couple of years.
Hey, I know how that goes. It took me 13 years to complete a Nobler.
Oh my gosh. That's a difficult plane.
Yeah. I kept messing up and I get frustrated and just put it away in frustration.
Yeah.
Until I figured out.
Nobler is a big PIA to get
Yeah.
it good. To get it right, it's a PIA.
Well, that's great. I'm glad you finally made it in and you're got all registered and all set up with Stunthangar. That's great, Tony.
It took me a while to figure it out. I spent a whole lot of time, got frustrated, put the phone down, got the thing out. I built this thing and then finally picked up the phone again. And I was like, all right, I'll try it again. Had to read through, watch the last episode that you guys had out where you told me how to do it. And then whenever I found out where to go through to the forum, it was pretty easy. I just clicked on the link and I was in.
Oh, great. Great. Well, I'm going to be ending the live stream. I want to thank everybody for coming in. I'm have a healing coming on, so I'm definitely going to go to bed. So I want to thank everybody for coming in and hanging out with us. And we'll be back Friday. Hopefully people have a chance to do some flying or work in their shop and come back and tell us all about it. That'll be great. Look forward to seeing everybody then. Until then, fair winds.